The Phoenix Rising pregame show is brought to you by Reese's Dental and Braces.
After a bye in Week 3, Phoenix Rising returned to Casino Arizona Field to take on a side that they always have an electric affair with as they take on Steve Trichu and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC right here in the Valley of the Sun. Tonight's pregame presented by Reese's. Tyler Terrence alongside my main man and ex-German pro, Devin Kerr. Thank you so much for joining us. And Devin, you and I have just been buzzing about this matchup. Whenever these two teams get together, the fireworks are set off. Kevon Lambert, Joey Farrell, Joey Calistri, Colin Fernandez, all looking for Phoenix to be able to get their first win of the season. And looking at this Phoenix team so far, Dev, there's been a lot of fight, there's been a lot of goals. However, they've had to constantly come from behind.
Goals, no glory. Unfortunately, the boys have not figured out a way to get 3 points yet. They've showed tremendous character, coming back every single time in each and every game versus two teams that have had some issues on their own. However, Phoenix has shown that they can get it done on the offensive side of things. Now it's time for the big boys in back to step up, solidify the back line, find a way defensively to lock things down so that they're not wasting all this brilliance in the final third.
And they're going up against a Colorado Springs Switchback side that's coached by legendary Steve Trichu, who has a number of caps with the U.S. men's national team and just does an excellent job with the pieces that he's been given. And they've got some newcomers as well, Devin. They had some pieces that were poached during the offseason, and they've gotten off to a really strong start.
Kept the core. Jordan Burt, Jordan Schweitzer, Shane Malcolm. Big names that came back this season. But you take a look down at the rest of the roster. Mike Seth, Matt Hunley, Alex Milano. Love the holding midfielder, Ronnie Arqueta. All of them have made impacts in the first couple games for this squad. And if they can continue to carry on the way that they are, they'll be a force to be reckoned with in the West. Carrying a similar system like Phoenix of last year. Phoenix going with 2 10s, Colorado Springs sitting with 1.
Phoenix ended Colorado Springs this season last year with a win at altitude. What do we have in store for their first matchup in 2019? Stick around and find out.
Friday smiles. Puppy smiles. Funniest thing ever smiles. It's a boy smiles. Delicious smiles. Best day ever smiles. No matter what kind of smile you have, it's one worth investing in. This tax season, find big savings at Reese's Dental and Braces, including 20% off all treatments. Schedule an appointment today.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Now, during the final days of Truck Month at Sanderson Ford, choose from over 300 new F-150 trucks starting at $27,900, or get 0% financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 trade assist. Choose from over 300 Super Duty trucks starting at only $38,900. Come see and drive the all-new Ford Ranger and shop Arizona's largest selection of over 1,000 new trucks in stock. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Welcome back to Phoenix Rising football here on the CW, and tonight's broadcast presented by Equality Health as the two sides are making their way out onto the pitch here at Casino Arizona Field. Again, I'm Tyler Terrence. Sitting right next to me is the ex-German pro and always fashionable Devin Kerr. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will take a look at the starting 11 for both of these teams, and starting with Rick Schantz and Phoenix Rising FC. Devin, they did have a new addition midweek. He's going to be able to run around with James Musa and Javi Perez in the middle of the field. What else are we looking at?
How about the back line? Tristan Blackman going to right back in the marking back position. Joey Farrell getting the nod alongside newcomer offseason acquisition A.J. Cochran and Amadou Dia. That'll give them nice balance on the outside one-on-one. How about in the middle of the field? Two loanees, Javi Perez and now John Picaro. Now, if you've been hiding under a rock for the past couple months, it's a former Mac Herman Award winner coming out of Wake Forest. Made his way to a couple different places, but he should be a nice complement to the three up top and round things out. You take a look at Steve Tritchew and Colorado Springs FC, what they bring to the table. We talked about their core and the likes of Schweitzer, Ish Jom, Jordan Burt, but look at the youngsters. Let's start at the back. Abraham Rodriguez, that's an 18-year-old, ladies and gentlemen, coming up through the Colorado youth system. Chisholm Trail High School. He's still taking high school classes, starting in his first professional game. That's nice to see. And newcomer, number 7, Alex Milano, is the engine that gets them going on the offensive side of things. The key factor is going to be Argueta and Jordan Schweitzer, 6 and 22. How are they going to counteract what Phoenix is throwing at them? The wing play is going to be going back and forth, but the middle of the field is where this match may be won or lost.
Colorado Springs, 2 wins in their first 3 games, 6 points. And Devin, the game against Sacramento, you and I talked about it at length. It probably could have gone either way. That's certainly how Steve Tritchew felt about it when we were talking to him as Colorado Springs getting ready to go in their white and black kits. And Devin, this should be a very interesting matchup. And of course, with our Alsco uniform report, Phoenix going with the red and black. I mean, I've asked you this question before, red or black or Copper State?
It's difficult, isn't it? They're both quality.
It is.
So basically, what's ending up underneath my Christmas tree?
Well, it should be known that we haven't received anything from Sam Dorr yet.
A lot of love.
A lot of love, but no kits yet.
No kits yet.
No kits yet. And a brief look at the injury report as well for Phoenix, as the Banditos and Red Fury are set to go. They have been starving for some football here in the Valley of the Sun after a bye week in week 3. The football has returned to Casino Arizona Field. Colorado Springs Switchbacks in their white kits with the black stripes. Phoenix, as we mentioned, in their red and black. And away we go. We invite you to turn off the world and turn on the game. 90 minutes ahead, what should be some scintillating Western Conference action in the USL Championship. Again, Tyler Terrence, along with the former German pro Devin Kerr, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday night. As Phoenix coming off of that 3-3 draw in their first 2 matches of the season, most recent against New Mexico United. Started off with that 3-3 draw against San Antonio as early delivery asking questions of the Phoenix defense. And helped along by Baquero, mashed back in. And Tristan Blackman will be able to see it out of play. Devin, I mean, you mentioned Tristan Blackman at the right back position. I mean, this is a guy that's extremely versatile and extremely athletic is usually the phrase that comes to mind when talking to Rick Schantz about Blackman. And you probably can slide him in most places along the back line.
Unfortunately for Phoenix, it's probably the weakest position with regards to depth. Mustafa Dumbuya coming out. He's still nursing his injuries. And so you move Tristan out there. That gives Joey Farrell an opportunity to make a name for himself in the 2019 season. He carried a great relationship with Blackman on the back line, culminating in their finals appearance versus Louisville City FC. But since then, he's struggled a bit. He's had to go up a bit against some high-quality characters in the likes of A.J. Cochran and Tristan Blackman. And don't forget Loney Lamar Batista, who's on the bench tonight. So LAFC having a presence within this Phoenix Rising squad, both in the starting 11 as well as on the bench. But that's the key question here is, what is the back line going to do? Very touch and go in their first 2 matches. Rick Schantz says that normally I would have given them a bit time off, but it's early on in the season and we got to get back to work.
And when they had their bye week last year, they had that terrific June. He gave them a number of days off, and then they got drilled by Fresno on the road, which sort of broke up their hopes for a hashtag no goals June and July. Jamal Jack pushing it along for Colorado Springs. Shane Malcolm now, he had that hat trick against Los Dos in their first game of the season. Circling around is Milano, early delivery, and a good defensive play along the back from Joey Farrell. He's paired up with A.J. Cochran. Here's Ishjome. Coming over from Nashville Soccer Club in the Eastern Conference in 2018.
I thought Steve Tritchu's comments were interesting when talking about Ish Joman. We brought up the guys that had come in and the ones that he'd been able to keep, and we brought up Josh Suggs. And we went right at it, said, to be honest, I think we got the better run of it with Ish Joman staying and coming in with us. I thought
Those
that was a
some
massive comment.
Hefty words from Trent.
I mean, you and I are both fond of Josh Suggs and what he's been able to do in general, obviously with Colorado Springs, but saying that Ish Joman is the better move, only time will tell, but those are some fighting words.
Amadou Dia now. Adam John coming deep to receive it. Jason Johnson keeping it in play, getting his first start of the 2019 season. Well, he's earned it, hasn't he, JJ?
Doesn't hurt that Junior Flemings was off on international duty and picked up some minutes to allow Jason Johnson to step in there.
As was Kevon Lambert.
Lambert as well. Lambert was one of the guys coming into tonight's match that had that Iron Man going for him. Lambert, Asante, Dion Waz. We're all tied for longest consecutive streaks. Excuse me, start streak. It's a little tongue twister for you.
Here's Cochran out of the back. Adam John hunting after it. And it's an early message from John, who doesn't mind throwing his body around a little bit. Miscue from Jamal Jack, however he atones for his sins. Working on Javi Perez. Here's Hundley. Little dip of the shoulder. Good defending from Blackman. Javi Perez coming in over support. Good defending from Tristan.
Fantastic. Notice his weight doesn't overshift in any direction whatsoever. Just stays very even keeled and allows the support to track back and help him out. Quality defending.
Good pace to this one in the opening 5 minutes. A look at our injury report presented by Mayo Clinic. Alessandro Rigi slowly but surely starting to come back from that ACL injury. Logan Gadula, Mustafa Dumboya, questionable. And no injuries to report of for Steve Tritchu's side, as Waz has to come with strong fists. And a little bit of a golf clap from Devin Kerr in the booth as well. And now the athletic training staff from Colorado Springs is going to come out and have to check on Shane Malcolm. And that would be a blow not only to Colorado Springs, but just the overall quality of this game if he's going to have to receive some serious medical attention and perhaps come off in the opening 6 minutes. What a start that he's gotten off to. And you and I have seen him over the past few years. This is a guy that is capable of the spectacular when he's given that sort of service. And he's run with the opportunities given to him at the start of 2019.
Quality so far, and hoping that can continue on. How streaky was it last year? You know, very up and down, and you saw these glimpses where you go 2-3 games in a row, he would go on a tear and then kind of pull back a little bit, downshift, and not necessarily get back up to speed. 2019 has been good to him so far.
And we already have a substitute getting ready for Colorado Springs, a couple of them. As Malcolm appears to be in some pain. Still prone on the floor. We'll take another look.
Jamal Jack just prior coming up high, and he catches him more so on the lower part in the midsection area. Watch his trailing leg right there. Yep.
That looks like a Charlie horse to end all Charlie horses.
And here's the problem for Shane Malcolm. You're going to think twice about coming over for the entire rest of the game. It does something to your psyche when a goalkeeper comes out and steps in like that. You immediately are on the losing end of any challenge you're going to step into because you get nervous, you start looking over your shoulder, you start hearing the footsteps. So well done by Carl Wazinski to step in and come out and really show his full force. But it's nice to see Malcolm up and moving again.
Malcolm, a 27-year-old, born in Jamaica, Grew up in Sunrise, Florida in his 3rd season with the Switchbacks. Attended High Point University. Devin, the nickname of High Point, please.
The Panthers?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Attaboy.
Look at that. 1 for 1. We're done for the night.
No, we are not. Adam John able to keep it in play. JJ has some work to do. 2 goals to start 2019 off the bench, no less, for JJ. Both of them being equalizers in their opening 3-3 draws against San Antonio, as well as New Mexico United. And especially the New Mexico United goal. I mean, the way that he had to sort of careen his body and come back. The ball from Flemings was good. It wasn't great because JJ had a lot of work to do in the air.
It was actually similar to a goal we saw earlier today in Kyle Gregg in St. Louis. There's the
that
two
ball
of them.
hit Gregg in the face.
You tell him that. It's very difficult. I've seen it time and time again from Jason Johnson, his ability to just kind of go Gumby on it, turn something into nothing, make it special at that.
There's Captain Solo with his first touch of the night, goes straight through the legs of a defender, so Solo in his usual mood. Coming over for the sliding challenge was Chris Reeves. John pressuring. Phoenix want the ball back in Colorado Springs defensive third, and they'll get it back. Johnson. Javi Perez lets the ball do the work. Baquero out wide for Solo. Asante! And it's a terrific save from the 18-year-old Abraham Rodriguez.
How good is this from the Spanish contingent? Javi Perez, Baquero, just having a little triangular game in the middle, and okay, let's go international. We'll let the Solomon Asante big guy on the right-hand side of the Ghanaian getting involved. Took me a second there, didn't it? Pretty ball movement from Phoenix. And that's the 2-10s role that Rick Schantz tells us about. They play the 1 holding midfielder and 2 guys up top, kind of challenge that center midfield of the opposing team.
Dia couldn't get the first delivery away. Phoenix claiming that it came off of Colorado Springs, and they'll get another try at a corner kick that, of course, is brought to you by our good friends over at Carvana. Corner lofted in. Cochran gets it back across, but Farrell and company had already made their run. And look at Adam John going to ground. And the conversation with Rick Schantz about Adam John was that he needed him to be an aerial threat. We've already talked about this before, Devin, but it certainly bears repeating that Adam John has big shoes to fill, whether it be Chris Cortez or Didier Drogba, playing that holding number 9, and all that's required from a physical standpoint as well as a technical.
When you look at the role they're asking him to fulfill, and they talked to him about that immediately, it's going to be very difficult to replicate the goals that were scored by Chris Cortez. They aren't necessarily asking him to do that. Now, they want everybody to find the back of the net, and quite regularly. However, it's all about that physical presence, and in order for this system to work, they need the hold-up play. Those long balls played in, the 50-50 challenges when they press up high, all of that.
Here's Baquero, and it's on the wrong side of the netting. Ignore the premature celebrations from the crowd here. Even got myself a little excited, but it did look like it took a deflection. That'll be another corner for Phoenix.
Yeah, about to say it has to all come from Adam John, and John Baquero a little upset by those words. Haven't talked about me yet, Devin, have you? We'll have a go there, John. Well done. Keep bringing heat like that.
Loose in front. John gets a touch to it. And the youngster in his professional debut will be able to collect for a goal kick, and that's got to be huge for Abraham Rodriguez to be able to get an initial save, and not just a save, but against an MVP candidate in Solomon Asante.
You remember, Colorado Springs has established themselves with the Rapids this year, and having that ability, relationship to transport players back and forth. This is a kid who's come up through the Colorado Rapids youth program, and now with that affiliation, some of these guys getting opportunities at the next level at some younger ages than we're used to seeing. In this case, a goalkeeper. Imagine the weight that's on his shoulders tonight. On the road, first professional appearance in this hostile environment. It's got to be an awesome sight to step into, but you better believe he's shaking in his boots.
Pun intended.
Yeah, for once.
I'll tell you what, he's not a physically imposing keeper by any stretch of the imagination either. I mean, if you're looking at him just in a normal Colorado Springs jersey and not in a goalkeeper's jersey, you're probably thinking he's running around in the midfield or out on the wing. Good play from Mike Seth. James Musa coming over in support. Good defensive work from the New Zealand native as Jason Johnson, little backheel for John Vaquero that gets the crowd interested. Vaquero trying to switch the point of attack and cut out nicely by Isjome. And just a reminder, folks, Sanderson Ford is your best play on a new Ford truck right now during Truck Month. They have over 600 trucks in stock with prices starting at $27,900. The best play is at Sanderson Ford. Banditos, Red Fury, all out to support Phoenix after that week off. Solomon Asante sizing up Isjome. Not a bad idea. Not sure whether he was trying to find Adam John or Jason Johnson over on the far side. And it's going to be offside on Mike Seth. How good is that from Solo? Blackman getting forward, but a cumbersome first touch.
Shocked Solomon Asante didn't put this in the first time. We've seen him so many times where that ball just comes in. Cheeky little ball down the line to allow Blackman to run onto it.
And a reminder that tonight's broadcast brought to you by Equality Health. Abraham Rodriguez with a bit of a miscue.
Give him one mulligan.
That's what I got on the golf course today.
Have a little trouble with the Bears, did you?
Trouble with a lot of different things. Pennsylvania native Joey Farrell. Great first touch from Solomon Asante. James Musa is going to spray it out wide. Newcomer John Vaquero is there. Wake Forest product, bends one in. Isjome able to win it. Asante takes the shot and Rodriguez gets down and makes a second save. But Phoenix starting to feel themselves a little bit.
Took a little deflection too. Well done by the goalkeeper to get over. Has to go down quickly as this comes off Asante's foot, like the movement interchange out of the midfield by Phoenix Rising. Well done by Musa and then out to Vaquero. And you give him the tiniest window and Solomon Asante can get it off. Just great job by the goalkeeper getting over. Nice save.
And he caught a little bit of flack for his performance in the first two games. You and I had pointed out that when he was striking the ball, it just didn't look clean. And in the opening 16 minutes or so in this one, it looks much better from the Ghanaian.
Smooth for sure, especially when you give him a bit of confidence early on. He just grows into a match, and you continue to feed that seed. Gives you much better options down the run.
Mike Seth trying to bring it down. He's going to be called for the handball. And what a revelation he's been to be able to hold up the ball for Steve Tritchu, and he's done some really, really good things. And it's a system for Steve Tritchu that's started to take a different shape in the 2019 season than what we're used to seeing. But with the newcomers and keeping a core, Steve Tritchu electing to shake things up a bit, and Mike Seth has been at the center of that, quite literally. Good defensive play from Javi Perez, who Rick Sean says that the game just seems to slow down for him. As that one is tended for Jason Johnson, it'll sneak through. JJ, 1v1, loves these types of situations, and Jason Johnson rocks the crossbar. Oh goodness, the Jamaican with an absolute laser.
He felt himself, didn't he? Sometimes when he gets going, much like Solomon Asante, he doesn't just grow into a game, he takes it over. Much like Flemo in the first game against San Antonio, he's the benefactor of a good bounce. Puts this on his right foot. He's not known for his right foot. It's all about that left with Jason Johnson, but he appreciates the movement and just unleashed on the youngster Rodriguez.
He's not known for his right foot, but he has scored good goals with his right foot before. It's just sort of one of those things where he knows he can get back to his left, so why even bother?
Yeah.
You can relate to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. See, I was smart enough only to use it when I had to, much like JJ. So when I hit it, I made sure that I was sitting pretty, that I made myself look as pretty as possible.
Joey Farrell forcing a couple of his teammates to take the scenic route. Joey Farrell had one of the 2 goals in that 2-1 win over Colorado Springs last year at 6,500 feet of altitude. And Widener, as that's a bad giveaway at the back from Phoenix. Mike Seth could be in here. Seth sends it over the bar. Was there a deflection from Cochran? The referee says yes. And that's a great recovery from Cochran. But if you're Rick Shantz, you're saying it should never got to that point.
Javi Perez coming barking at the back line because it started being too nonchalant by Joey Farrell, and then A.J. Cochran got involved. You have to be more intense on the back line, especially when your outside backs play so high. You guys are the generals. You're controlling the run of play going forward. They cannot be that lethargic in their movements.
Dealt with by the Phoenix back line. Jome is going to bring it down. Battling with JJ, he's going to come away with it, and Solomon Asante is running with him. It could be a 2 or 3v1 if they hurry. And look at the numbers for Phoenix the other way. JJ leading the charge. Dia touches it across, and it's put over the bar by Perez. Well, it's another missed opportunity, but the crowd sensing that a goal is on the horizon.
Mistakes by Phoenix and by Colorado Springs, and they just go the other way. Jason Johnson wins the 50-50. Just a massive shoulder charge. And how about the patience by the Jamaican? Just waiting for Amadou Dia to let that run develop. Dia does brilliantly, cutting it back to the top of the 6. And Javi Perez, how that does not even get put on frame, I will never know.
Look at Solo. Got his dancing shoes on a Saturday night. Giveaway from Joey Farrell. Cochran stepping up off the face of Alex Milano. And Amadou Dia recovers for Phoenix. The numbers that Phoenix sent forward in that counter, it was like they were shot out of a cannon. And here they come again in a wave as Solo, a bit too ambitious, trying to find JJ. Colorado Springs just hoping to maybe lull Phoenix to sleep here. Ball stayed in play, everybody stopped. Amadou Dia with the 2-handed shove, gets away with it.
I'll get it.
Shane Malcolm the other way. Johnson tying up number 23, and it's going to be off of JJ in a corner for Colorado Springs now. That was a bizarre sequence. And corner kicks, as always, brought to you by Carvana. And Jordan Burt was trying to sneak one in. And Solo, good build-up from Phoenix. Standing one up. Challenged by Blackman. John Baccaro getting stuck in. And finding Amadou Dia, positive first touch. Bending one in, and Rodriguez can happily see it out of play. Comes Colorado Springs. Looking dangerous. Malcolm sends it out wide. Jordan Burt now. He's clipping one towards the back post. Brought down by Milano. Milano working on Farrell. Great find in the middle. Hundley takes a deflection, and it's put in by Jordan Burt. Colorado Springs take the lead in the 26th. Totally against the run of play. And it's one of their main men, Jordan Burt, who gets the tally. 1-0 to the visitors. Burt's second of the year.
Jordan Burt, the man who came here and caused an uproar with his challenge on Zach Lubin, has done it again, except this side on the offensive side of things. He actually plays the initial ball into the back post, and Phoenix just cannot find a way to clear this out. 1, 2, 3 touches to the back post, delayed run by Jordan Burt. And that mythical mustache has found another way to silence this stadium. The home crowd is quiet.
And Phoenix fans will remember that Jordan Burt has something to prove, because the last time he was in the Valley of the Sun, as Amadou Dia gets tangled up along the byline and a corner coming for Phoenix, Burt was sent off late in a 0-0 game on a controversial play where he went studs up on a challenge on Zach Lubin. Lubin still has the scar to show for it, and Devin, you caught a lot of flack from Phoenix players, specifically Lubin, for disagreeing with the red card for Jordan Burt. But he felt terrible getting sent off in that fashion as Rodriguez makes the save. Solomon Asante, another save from Rodriguez, and Joe has to clear it away. And the debutant with a couple of ridiculous saves to keep it at 1-0.
And let's correct this real quick. Not just the debutant, we all know I can't add. He's not 18, he's 16 years old. So we're not even talking about graduating high school.
We're not talking about a rated R movie.
He can drive.
Depends what state you're in.
He's got the keys to this match right now.
James Musa switching the point of attack. Solomon Asante bringing it down. Here he goes. Solo, still with it. Goes with the left foot. And a goal kick coming for Abraham Rodriguez, who is coming off of that awesome double save sequence.
Watch his feet and his hands. The positioning is everything. Watch your training. Down, right back up, centers himself, boom, makes himself big. That is technique of the highest level from a young man who is just getting his driver's license. That is so beautiful. And notice when he gets back up, doesn't matter the age, notice the skill, everybody recognizes it. They're up 1-0, and this young man is just keeping them in this match right now.
4 saves already for Rodriguez. Asante. Blackman getting forward. Perez lets one loose. Nothing doing. Thanks to our friends at Jackson's Car Wash. You get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. Visit phxrisingfc.com/Jacksons for more information. Mildly frustrated, Rick Schatz?
A bit. Tactically, Colorado Springs. On the defensive side of things, their outside players and Matt Hundley and Shane Malcolm are playing a bit deeper than we've normally seen. Ronnie Argueta and Schweitzer and Milano still having trouble in the middle of the pitch, and we said that's probably where things would start to open up, and that's definitely where it's come from. Most of the transitional play from Phoenix has been a good challenge by JJ or a solid move by Perez, and then he and Baquero have just gone the other way. Phoenix have had the better run of opportunities, just haven't been able to finish it off yet.
Here's Ish Jones showing off that pace. Mike Seth on the turn now. Amadou Diaz stepping, deflected shot was, it was awkward, but he handles it in the end. Almost a half hour gone here at Casino Arizona Field. And it feels like the same story yet again, Phoenix trailing at home. Jordan Burt with the lone goal. Abraham Rodriguez, just 16 years of age, standing strong in between the sticks for Steve Tritchu. Blackman directing traffic. Baquero. Good build-up from Colorado Springs. Alex Milano finding Jordan Burt. Burt finding Seth, laying it off. Stopped before it could become too dangerous for Phoenix. But Colorado Springs showing, obviously, that when they do get the ball, they can be dangerous and show teeth. Here comes Baquero on the other end. Great through ball for Solomon Asante. It's a foot race. Asante puts the brakes on, and it's over the bar. It took a deflection, and it's Rodriguez again who makes the save. And Solomon has to be wondering, what on earth do I need to do to beat this 16-year-old keeper?
He makes all the difficult things look easy. Uses the pace, watch the touchback. He needs to take a page out of Jason Johnson's book. Keep this on his left foot, come across your body. The first touch comes, you take one and hit it. If you put that on your left foot, that's a goal.
Shouts for a handball. Perez. I'll tell you what, it looked sharp until the final ball from Phoenix in tight quarters. And here comes Colorado Springs on the counter. Mike Seth, was it too much? It was. It's a typical Phoenix and Colorado Springs game. It's wide open and plenty of chances.
Back to back. Keep an eye with that space that Colorado Springs is showing Phoenix a few times now, right at the top of the box. They're letting them play about 22, 25 yards out. Pick your head up and hit one. I mean, the goalkeeper's showing he's making some saves, but he's also giving up a lot of rebounds. So put something on frame, make him work for it. And Adam John needs to recognize this. Something comes flying in, make sure and follow it up.
Here's a long-range attempt to try to chip Rodriguez. Don't hate the idea.
Be appropriate if David Beckham and Didier Drogba were sharing a beer with each other somewhere watching that, huh? Oh. He's hit one just beyond midfield.
Where's our invite to that party?
It's been lost in the mail for a couple years.
Blackman has Hundley to deal with. There's that athleticism we were talking about, just sort of kicks it over his head and runs onto it. John letting it run through, hoping Beccaro might be able to get a touch to it. Well done from Javi Perez. In for Beccaro. Switching the point of attack beautifully. Now it's the Clemson product, Amadou Dia. Musa lofts it in. Joam safe with it, but concedes a corner. Outswinger. Free header for Joey Farrell. And Rodriguez snatches it. What a debut thus far for Abraham Rodriguez. And he quite literally has a pep in his step.
Kid's got some kind of swagger, doesn't he? After every save. We've seen him a couple times too when Colorado Springs starts to move up the pitch. Constantly cheering him on, giving him wise words of wisdom. At such a ripe old young age of 16. Jeez. Nice to see though. Good to see kids at that age getting reps, and especially in such a pivotal role. Sometimes we'll see it from a midfielder position where you can kind of surround them and mask them a bit. That's not the case. Playing at the goalkeeper.
You can't hide in there.
No. And not against the likes of Phoenix Rising, where you know they're going to unload.
Here's Shane Malcolm on the move. Seth trying to bring it down. Disrupted by Javi Perez. Malcolm coming around the bend.
Sniper.
And stumbles.
They'll get you. Time to time. Just pick you off from afar. We've all been there. He knows it.
Long ball ahead for Blackman, cushions it beautifully. And now Phoenix can set up shop. JJ. Now wide for Dia. They want a handball. That looked pretty obvious. Quick distribution from Rodriguez, and it's beautiful to find Hundley. And here come the visitors again. Hundley slides it across. Mike Seth got a first touch to it, but couldn't quite corral it for a second. Milano out wide for Malcolm. He can let one loose here. Waz parries it away. Milano again, and he sends it wide. Good recovery from Phoenix, but it looked like it should have been a handball, and they got hard done against New Mexico United. That led to the Santi Moar curler. Devin, your thoughts?
Rick Shantz was not happy about that one, was he? Oh, that's a handball. Greg Dopkar, head referee, gets this one wrong, impedes the run of play. Hand out away from the body. That 100% should have been Phoenix Rising ball, and got very lucky on the other side of things that it didn't end up as another Colorado Springs goal. By the way, not that we need to add to the impressive performance in the opening 40 minutes, but how about the distribution from the youngster? Goalkeeper, quick step up, side volley, about 45 yards on a dime. Matt Hundley just goes the other way, started the counterattack. Very impressed by him so far.
Foul called against John, and he more or less was trying to just get rid of the ball. It almost hit Greg Dopka. It looks like it'll just be a stern talking to. But you do see that frustration starting to come to the surface. Wow, it's going to be a card. I'm curious as to what the ruling is going to be on that. Is it delay a game? Is it dissent? Is it a combination of the two?
Be unsportsmanlike or ungentlemanly conduct, as they say, when he knocks the ball away at the end as well.
So a typical Friday night for you.
It doesn't. Easy. It's Saturday. I'm tame. I mean, that's a tiny foul, but he doesn't even really carry him that much.
He blatantly kicks the ball at the referee.
Well, that's what gets him in trouble, for sure.
That's incredible. So Adam John shown mustard in the 41st. Coming up at halftime, we're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Find out what the new stadium sponsorship means for the players. Plus, Solomon Asante answers some quick questions. It's all coming up at halftime. Speaking of Solo, pushes it out wide for Baquero. He's looked lively in his Phoenix debut.
Oh, we gotta be smarter than that. Gotta be smarter than that. Hey, that's luck. Let's go. Show some skill.
Perez just does whatever he wants. Solomon is no different. Look at the little Canadian go. Again, it stayed in play and everybody just stops. It's the second time.
Speechless.
I've never seen that happen
happens.
once.
Yeah, it's very confusing. Both ends of the field, both down in the right corners, and the players just tugging up a bit, almost expecting the referee to do them a favor. Not the case.
Musa entry into JJ, room to work with, but his shot is blocked in front. Great sliding challenge. It was Jamal Jack. Amadou Dia delivery in, looking for John. It's too high. And Isjone concedes another quarter, but Phoenix knocking on the door before halftime.
If I'm the Rising, I go quick here. Try and apply some pressure. Right at the beginning of this match, you had Colorado Springs frazzled. Try and see if you can keep doing that, applying the pressure up top, give a little bit of press, and make them work their way out instead of these long balls and you start playing chase.
Header from Phoenix, it's in! They equalize, and it's Joey Farrell. Oh, he just loves scoring against the Switchbacks. 1-1 in the desert.
Rick Shantz told us Joey Farrell had to start to prove himself. Great work ethic, but being outclassed a bit on the technical side of things. How classy is this? The Philly boy going back-to-back against Switchbacks FC. This time, upper 90. A little kiss of death off the post, right into the back of the net. Gets the equalizer just before halftime. There's the momentum you wanted.
And the Philly native will take it with provolone and onions. First goal this season. What a big goal for him. I mean, Devin, you hit the nail on the head. Our conversation with Rick Shantz, it was pretty interesting because Joey was phenomenal at the end of last season, and he really helped shore things up at the back and obviously helped them to that Western Conference Championship and eventually a USL Cup appearance, falling to Louisville City FC. And you and I have been shocked for the past couple of weeks when we hadn't seen him in the starting lineup. And the conversation with Rick, it was quite frank, and he totally opened up to us and said, listen, it was the same thing when we brought him in 2018, and Patrice was not a fan of his. And then Patrice obviously leaves, and Joey just kicks it into another gear, dropped a few pounds, got his mobility up, and it sort of was the same old story, slow start to 2019, and perhaps this is the wake-up call that he needs.
It's that blue-collar work ethic that he brings from his Philly upbringing, just continuously applying the efforts to try and push himself into the squad. Didn't even make the 18 in week 1. And it is funny how that played out last year, how he almost started as the caboose from the back in the red shirt, pun intended, and just made his way back up, became a motor and almost an engine from the back line, continuously working forward. Looking to do the same thing here in 2019. That's not a bad start, is it?
Not a bad start at all. And we're off to a great start here at Casino Arizona Field, especially from a third-party standpoint. Jordan Burke got things started in the 26th minute, and then it was Joey Farrell right before the stroke of halftime on a beautifully placed header to level things up. Devin Kerr, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes and on that 16-year-old's debut?
Brilliant 45 minutes by that young man. Still has the second half to complete, though. You cannot walk out with your head up right now and then go, oh, you know what? I've done my job. He's got a hard job in the second 45. Both teams should be happy with their performance. Phoenix need to close out in the final third. Steve Tritchu and Colorado Springs should be happy where they're at right now.
Well, another entertaining match between Phoenix Rising and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. We're headed to halftime here on your Phoenix CW, or wherever you might be watching. We'll step aside.
Hi, I'm Haley Francis, and you're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Welcome to halftime. The season has just started, and there are already a lot of big things happening for the team. Jay Russell shows us one of the biggest.
You may have noticed something a little different at the Phoenix Rising soccer complex.
Phoenix Rising FC soccer field will be known as Casino Arizona Field.
Just to see the community come together and get all the sponsorship, You know, back in Phoenix FC Wolves, we didn't even have a jersey sponsor. So to see the sponsors and how the city has really embraced this team has just been fantastic.
Previously known as the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex since February 2017, this is the team's first field sponsorship, and you'll now see signs all over the field.
I know this means a lot to the players. It will allow them more opportunities to advance their careers and continue to support Phoenix Rising FC and this community in the best possible way.
Along with the new name, several players were handed huge custom playing cards with their faces on them. Fans are excited about the change.
It feels not necessarily that we're more legitimized as a team, but we have a solid sponsorship partner for our stadium, and we're able to get more of an outreach from people outside of Phoenix Rising fans.
This was our last sponsorship asset remaining, and the most important one, or I should say one of the most important ones.
We finally have a sponsor now, and just feels like we have finally a key place to go to now. Like, we all have a stadium, and now we have a field for us. It's Casino Arizona.
And in the future, as the sport grows in the Valley, they'll be adding even more to the Casino Arizona field, including a road to the complex and even more seating. Fans feel this will help the Phoenix Rising's pitch to become an MLS team.
Eventually, they're not going to be able to overlook us.
For Kicking It, I'm Jay Russell.
Thanks, Jay. Stay right there. After the break, it's Quick Questions with Solomon Asante.
It's Honda's Dream Garage Spring Event with new SUVs from $209 a month. The best SUV brand for 2019. Save on the sporty HR-V. It's surprisingly spacious with smart technology for $209 a month. The CR-V, KBB.com's best buy of the year for $249 a month. Or the full-size 7-passenger Pilot for only $299 a month. Get the best SUVs for less than the competition at your Valley Honda dealers.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
I see it every day. Somebody walks into a hamburger place and thinks about getting their usual hamburger. And then that light bulb goes off in their head. Like, maybe I should switch it up a bit. Maybe I should get a Reuben or a loaded Italian. Or a market fresh turkey ranch and bacon. And that's how they should think, duh.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Back here at Casino Arizona Field, Phoenix and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC all locked up at 1-1. Some great stuff from the United Soccer League in the launch of League One. Of course, last night, Greenville and Tormenta finishing 1-0. Former Tampa Bay Rowdy Alex Morel scoring the first goal in League One history. And we'll take a look at what else has been going on around the United Soccer League, and specifically in the championship of the two of those three notes. How about the Tulsa Roughnecks? Devin, just like you predicted, atop the Western Conference after week 3.
I told you they were much better than last year.
Much better than last year, and top of the table is different. Very
Same
different.
to me.
Whatever.
You just have to speak my language. They put a hurting on Tacoma Defiance last night, 2-1. But New Mexico United, this time, shoes on the other foot.
Yeah.
They're not out in front laying chase. They came from behind, get a 2-1 victory. Did good for them. Steve Lassane figuring out what they want to do. Cami Wassa, not only was it an 11-minute span, his 3 goals were in the opening 27 minutes of the match.
Let's check out some scores from around the Western Conference. Woo. That Reno OKC Energy FC game, we checked that like 40 minutes ago, and what happened?
A lot.
3 goals happened from OKC Energy FC as Steve Kick's boys fight back. Las Vegas and Real Monarchs all knotted up 0-0 at halftime. That's a surprising score. Look at Orange County. They're off to a rough start. Austin Bold FC, San Antonio yet to win a game.
Darren Powell, watch it. Easy.
We'll step aside when we come back. Second half kickoff. Don't go anywhere.
Hey Rising fans, we love it when you post to social media, and when you do, make sure you're using the hashtag RisingOnCW. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We want to see your spirit. Just hashtag RisingOnCW.
They're pitch perfect. Chicago natives Joey Calistri, Carl Wasinski, and Colin Fernandez singing Take Me Out to the Ball game at a recent Cubs spring training game. They may be Arizona soccer stars, but these guys never forgot their Chicago roots.
Now some quick questions with Solomon Asante.
Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Dine-in or delivery?
Dining.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Soup or sandwich?
Soup.
Hamburgers or tacos?
Come again. Tacos.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Barcelona or Man City?
Barcelona.
Horror movie or comedy movie?
Comedy.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead?
Walking Dead.
Flash or Green Arrow?
Flash.
Bend It Like Beckham or Kicking and Screaming?
Kicking and Screaming.
Fullback or goalkeeper?
Fullback.
Marvel or DC?
DC.
Jennifer Lawrence or Scarlett Johansson?
Jennifer Lawrence.
That was quick. Drake or Post Malone?
Drake.
Will Ferrell or Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Header or bicycle kick?
Bicycle kick.
Weights or yoga?
Yoga.
Snow or sun?
Sun, of course.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
FIFA or Fortnite?
FIFA.
Perfect.
That's it.
That's great.
Great job. Thank you.
We're back with the second half right after this. You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Now, during the final days of Truck Month at Sanderson Ford, choose from over 300 new F-150 trucks starting at $27,900 or get 0% financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 trade assist. Choose from over 300 Super Duty trucks starting at only $38,900. Come see and drive the all-new Ford Ranger and shop Arizona's largest selection of over 1,000 new trucks in stock. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Almost ready for the second half here at Casino Arizona Field. Tyler Terrence along with the ex-German pro Devin Kerr. Thank you so much for tuning in, wherever you may be tuning in. And we'll take a look at what went down in the first half, Devin. And for Phoenix fans, I'm sure they were thinking that it was more of the same story with Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC getting on the board first through the likes of Jordan Burt, but it did not come before Abraham Rodriguez, in his debut at 16 years of age, made a slew of saves.
You're going to hear his name quite a few times, not only in these highlights, but in the rest of the game, as he has done wonders in between the pipes for Switchbacks FC. A couple of saves here and there. The double save that obviously got things going. JJ had him on skates early. Loved the strike. Off the right hand, the teenager gets the tiniest of deflections to get it off the post here. He does get a little bit. Little hands, but big save. Well done. And there was a lot of this. Too many mistakes at the back line by Phoenix, and it created too many opportunities on the other end of the field for the likes of Mike Seth. We also saw it from Matt Hundley. Shane Malcolm got involved in the act. I like when Carl Wazinski got involved early and really kept Shane Malcolm at bay. Once he got stuck in there, Malcolm's kind of been quiet, but still half opportunities here and there. Javi Perez, this is an absolute sitter. Right on the six, pushes it over the bar, and then this happens. Ball to the back post, cannot find a way to clear it. Doesn't challenge, doesn't leave his feet, just slowly makes its way through. And look at the trailing run by Jordan Burt. Amadou Dia gets beat on the challenge. Burt puts it in the back of the net. Visitors go up 1-0.
Do you put that on Blackman?
No, Amadou Dia on the trailing run. He's got to keep his
mind
open.
Well, the fact that Milano was there.
It's very difficult. There's so much happening in the box. It's a melee.
Just posing the question.
Yeah, I'm yelling at you, so
I know. I feel it. I feel it. John Picaro sliding one through. This is an excellent ball. And Solo does incredibly well, but Rodriguez does better.
And this is where Solomon Asante really shows that that right foot is pretty much his trademark, because he does all the good things right, puts it back across his body, put it on your left and hit it. You give yourself a much better opportunity. But if at first you don't succeed, Joey Farrell, I'll try again for you. Good ball in, about 8 yards out, penalty mark, upper 90, 1-1.
That's a ridiculous header.
He's so good in the air.
Shane Malcolm was sitting there.
He's so good in the air, and Joey Farrell just, you know what, it goes to show what Rick Sean said to us, where, yes, it's taken him some time. Yes, he's slowly getting into the 2019 season, but he finds a way when he gets the opportunity to impose his will and continuously show he's such a valuable asset to this organization.
And away we go in the second half. Greg Dopka calling a foul against Phoenix. Again, I'm Tyler Terrence. Sitting right next to me is Devin Kerr, Casino Arizona Field in Scottsdale, Arizona. And Jordan Burt just shaking that one off. Devin, if you're Steve Tritchu, what might the message be in the locker room?
You have to be happy with your boys in the opening 45 minutes, but Phoenix won't stop. They're going to continuously come with these wave of attacks, and they've been most vulnerable in the middle of the field. And to be honest, that's where they looked the strongest in their first couple of games. So obviously, Baquero, Perez, and Musa showing that it's difficult to mark this trio in the middle. They interchange a lot. I like the movement out of Phoenix. So Colorado Springs needs to find a way to solidify things in the middle of the field. Phoenix has to quit giving the ball away just like that.
Amadou Dia gives it away this time. Malcolm trying to play a little 1-2, but it was too tight to find Hundley. But again, Devin, that's part of the system and the style that Rick Schantz wants to implement, is constantly playing out of the back. I mean, there was a time during preseason when they played Real Salt Lake where he told them that they were not allowed to kick the ball long and go direct if they were under pressure. And if you're going to do that, there may be times where you give the ball away, but it seems like it's happened a few too many times.
Fans are quick to jump on them as well, but it is a new system. This is a process.
That hits off the backside of Joe. Back for Asante. He's onside. Standing one up, hoping for John. And Jamal Jack getting ahead to it. Jason Johnson looking to control for Phoenix. Bacula almost came off for Amadou Dia. Look at the pace from Shane Malcolm, just gliding past James Musa. Former Phoenix member Mike Seth. And it's picked off by Javi Perez. How good has he been? He is the silent killer in the middle of the field.
Just watch the ball at his feet. It never goes more than a foot away from him. His head's always up, more than willing to play with both feet. Just head on a swivel, constantly moving, pinging the ball all over the place, and every single pass is executed to a T.
Solo sliding one through. Here's Baquero, and Rodriguez makes another save, picking up right where he left off in the first half.
And remember, Tyler, we talk about guys in this system, and it's going to take time, and it's a process. Not only that, they've got 5 players in the 18 tonight, 3 of which that are in the starting 11 that aren't even signed to this team. They're on loan from another squad. So remember that, because they're not training with them on a regular basis.
Shaky from Cochran. Steve Tritchu's throwing on the jacket, a little chilly in the desert.
How much fun is it to talk with him?
He was great.
Just, you know, we're put in an awesome position where we get to meet some really fun people and do what we love for a living, and he is one guy that just puts it up another notch.
Long-range effort from Chome, takes a deflection, and Waz makes an outstanding save.
There's a look from Ish Chome. Saw this from Josh Suggs a few times in the past. This time Ish Chome thinks he'll have a go, and Tritt thinks that he got the better run of it, bringing Chome over from Nashville. No longer fit into Gary Smith's project out there. Quick little touch, one look, sees Waz off the line. Takes a bit of a deflection as well. Well done by Carl Wazinski to just push this up over the bar.
Corner kick for Colorado Springs. Of course, brought to you by Carvana. Joe lofts one in, Waz off of his line and makes a good play. Phoenix trying to go on the counter. Foul called against Phoenix. Here's Joe, long-range effort, and Waz again hanging on to it, and he's starting to become more and more busy as the game goes on. Here comes Phoenix, Solomon Asante knocks one across, it gets all the way through, but the only runner was Adam John. Dia, John back for Baquero. His shot takes a deflection. Again, it's Jamal Jack who's sacrificing his body. He's one of the best in the Western Conference at getting in front of shots.
people probably don't give him enough credit either, because he carries this big, bulking stature about him, and you don't expect speed to complement that body, but he does such a good job. High soccer IQ, and sometimes you just got to put it on the line. He lays out for this one, pushes it right over the end line. Well done by the center back.
Trinidad and Tobago native Jamal Jack. As Greg Dopka is just going to have a brief conversation with those who are taking part in the extracurricular activity. And again, we'll try to do that corner one more time. It's Joam and Cochran who are in the middle of it. Asante. Vaquero finding Solo. Back for the Mac Herman Award winner. Vaquero stymied by Joe. Dia looked like he wanted to hit it. And look at Jordan Burt racing to go get in front of the Clemson product. Ronnie Arqueta fending off Dia, stays on his feet. We'll settle it down for Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC.
Here we go, 41!
Musa for JJ. Here comes the press from Phoenix. How will Colorado Springs handle it?
There you go!
And the foul called on Jordan Burt.
Well, this contest starting to heat up a bit, and you better believe there are more goals coming. We've seen this story written in the past from both of these teams. Our all-time series, they're 4-4-0, so no love lost, but Phoenix has won the last 4 games. Outside of that 4-0 drubbing last year.
Here's John after the solo attempt. Musa, he wants it. Blocked in front by who else? Jamal Jack.
Outside of that 4-0 drubbing last year, off the Jordan Burt red card, which was really a close game up until that point. All of these games decided by 1 goal. So tight-knit contest, but full of goals.
Phoenix goes short. Amadou Dia. Late arriving run from Joey Farrell. He almost had a second.
It's interesting what they've done here with John Vaquero. Opening 10 minutes, very traditional from Phoenix in the middle, with Musa sitting and Perez and Vaquero playing in that double 10 role. But since then, Vaquero wandering a lot more, interchanging with the boys on the outside.
Dia through for JJ, trying to peel it back. Seth putting the brakes on. Greg Dopka was going to blow his whistle to give advantage. However, I don't really see an advantage for Colorado Springs, and Ronnie Arqueta tracking back 15 yards. Good step. Phoenix win it back again. Solomon Asante, 1v1. Solo towards the byline, sends it across, loose in front. Adam John sends it over. It's another sitter missed by Phoenix.
This is one of those ones, Tyler, where you feel like the entire world is crushing down on you. Adam John feels like he has to get this off right away. He doesn't, and the level of difficulty is off the charts here. Asante just tries to put this back across the middle, and he's got time. He does. He can compose himself, but he expects the pressure to come much quicker, and John just pushes it aside. Both the Adam John chance now and the Javi Perez missed opportunity right at the top of the 6 in the first half. Phoenix could be out by 2 in front, and instead, still deadlocked at 1s.
I guess the one positive to take away from it in the glass half full mentality is that Phoenix is there. The opportunities are coming. And the lead up, the build up is ever present.
That's on the offensive side. On the defensive side, structurally, they've looked a lot better. All of the problems have come from Phoenix making their own mistakes.
Self-inflicted errors.
100%. Their wounds, they just continue to lick them, and they can only put a Band-Aid on it because they keep ripping it back off. You see them, they're steady and sound for about 3-4 minutes, and then an unnecessary turnover to feel Colorado Springs like there's a little bit of hope. And you don't want to do that with Trichu's squad because they will find a way to bite you.
They rip off a Band-Aid again. A.J. Cochran gives it away. Here comes Captain Solo, driving forward at great authority. Now it's Adam Dunn, and it's off the bar. That's 2 woodworks now for Phoenix, 1 for JJ and 1 for John.
What does he
Pounding
have
on
to
the
do?
door.
What does he have to do? Unbelievable. What a sequence. Solomon Asante just dissecting the center of the defense. Jordan Bird, smart at the end of this, heads it over the end line. That's where the height of the goalkeeper comes into play. You can see him off his line, doesn't have the presence.
Won by Colorado Springs. We'll do it one more time. Look at that. Phoenix 19 shots to Colorado Springs' 9. Perez has room. It's Joam getting to it. And it's time for the Sonic Happy Hour. If a Rising player scores during the 60th minute, one lucky fan will win a $500 gift certificate to Sonic. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. Solo, great little 1-2 touch. Finding Blackman. Has to circle back around. Johnson. JJ fouled right at the edge of the area. And a free kick opportunity for the home side.
With the tacticians that Phoenix Rising has, now you take your time. Slow things down a little bit.
But it's the Sonic Happy Hour.
Selfishly, you're ready, huh? You didn't have dinner tonight, did you?
I didn't.
Here's JJ doing a bit of dancing. It's Matt Hunley coming into your screen, getting involved, and Javi Perez, Solomon Asante. Expect to keep someone coming off the wall here too. Get a little overlapping run right on the outside of the box to drag someone away from the run of play. Open up a bit more space for the ball striker here.
Good effort at the near post, and it's just wide. I'll tell you what, there are some ballers that can stand over set pieces for Phoenix.
Unfortunately, right now, those guys have not been able to find the back of the net. The man from Wake trying to make some waves here. It's Beccaro. Nice dip. Some quality spin on the ball. Credit to Rodriguez. He was there right on the near post. He's done well for himself.
Really quickly for Amadou Dia. That's excellent from Carl Wazinski. JJ. Back for Dia, and Jordan Bird a sliding tackle to it. And that all started with Carl Wazinski releasing Dia. Dia for Baquero. Musa now looking for Solo. He brings it down. Who even thinks of that? That's ridiculous.
There comes a point in time when you watch the games and you just have to be in awe of some of the touches that are coming out of this game right now. Absolutely brilliant from Solomon Asante, and that's someone takes that out of the air, puts it back across the box. They take a touch and then try to bring it down. You don't take a little tiny touch to then progress in front of you and then try and knock it back across. Absolutely beautiful.
Another free header for Phoenix. This time it was A.J. Cochran, and Colorado Springs look a little dicey trying to pick up on these set pieces.
Be smart now!
I'll tell you, with the amount that Phoenix has had the ball here in the second half, Switchbacks FC had to chase a lot more. Don't be surprised if you see Steve Trittschuh maybe make a substitution from the likes of Hunley or Mike Seth and bring on Cesar Romero, who's a Goal of the Week nominee and wasn't rewarded for his brilliant effort. That was a pretty strike in their win over San Antonio Football Club last week. And they need something up top, and Phoenix on the other side of things. They've got some speed as well. Want to keep this progression going. That high tempo, high offense starting to die down a bit.
Here's Perez. Trying to slide it through for Jason Johnson and Jamal Jack. Playing a little cat and mouse with JJ. Quadruple the J.
Jason Johnson's not getting stuck in there. That's a recipe for disaster. That big body coming across, you want to stick your foot out and run into that?
I would. I wouldn't walk for a month, but. Solo brings it down incredibly well again.
Can we get a striker in here that knows what's going on? Yeah, someone that knows how to play soccer. Let's see it.
Always appreciate the educated opinions for our peanut gallery.
I don't understand that.
We have to wonder, though, if you take a look at Rick Schantz's bench, he doesn't exactly have a massive amount of offensive firepower right now. You look down and Junior Flemings, and obviously Lamar Batista sits in the back. Josh Perez sighting. Saw some speedy movements out of the youngster last year when he came over on loan. Short amount of time, but still looked nice.
And we're being told from our outstanding producer, Sharni Yerke, that Junior Flemings is going to come on and replace fellow Jamaican and Jason Johnson. Those two linked up for the equalizer against New Mexico United 2 weeks ago. And that was one of the questions we posed to Rick Schantz, was when are we going to see these two on the field at the same time? And obviously paid dividends, but with Junior getting those minutes with the Jamaican national team and the Reggae Boys, limiting him tonight, but coming on to the scene here in the 25th, or excuse me, with 25 minutes remaining in the 66th. Your thoughts on JJ's performance?
Not bad, not great. Drifted in and out of the match. Again, to me, a lot of it comes from the movement by Baquero, because he's also caused some frustration by Solomon Asante on the right. Baquero's playing a lot in the second half on the near side of the pitch, on the left side, and the progression with he and Jason Johnson has caused his inability to get the ball out in front of him and at his feet a bit more.
Was able to handle that cleanly. Flemings showing great pace, and Colorado Springs will just see it out after a heavy third or fourth touch, lost count. And just a reminder, folks, that tonight's broadcast brought to you by Equality Health. I'll tell you what, if you're Junior Flemings coming back from that call-up to the Jamaican national team, which was more than deserved, come back to Phoenix with a lot of confidence.
Played well, didn't he?
Yep. He had that one sequence where he just...
A couple things have gone viral for him over the first few weeks of his career in Phoenix. One of them was that movement in Jamaica. Well done for him.
That's also because PR extraordinaire Jose Bosch is just the man. Work rate. Everything.
Through the roof.
Everything that Rick Schatz talks about with regards to Junior Flemings' work rate. And if they're youngsters watching at home, Devin, I'm sure you can attest to this. I mean, that's the easiest way to get in the coach's good graces, is just run your tail off.
Keep going, put in the extra effort, come a bit early, stay a bit late, always trying to make yourself better, both individually and then, of course, get involved in the squad a bit more. The main men up top do take notice.
Way to get it out of there! No easy goal!
And Cesar Romero, as Tevin mentioned earlier, is going to be the first substitute for Steve Trichu. And he is going to replace Alex Milano here in the 69th. Romero, a 20-year-old from Tegucigalpa, Honduras, in his first season on loan from Motagua, who actually got to the final of CONCACAF League and fell to Herediano of Costa Rica. CONCACAF League, just quite simply Europa League within CONCACAF. If you're still following me, Devin.
I'm following, I'm listening, I'm learning. I like this kid. He's smooth. It was nice watching him last week in San Antonio. He's one of those guys, much like Solomon Asante. Obviously his stature is bigger, but he just, in the tiniest bit of spaces, makes so much out of nothing. It's the center back's worst nightmare, always running and constantly checking over your shoulder to see where he's at. Most assuredly, Mike Seth will probably drop down into the role that was applied by Alex Milano, and they'll let Romero run around up top now.
Hey, let's go, Rising! Get out of there!
Here's a look at the young Honduran, who's already making waves in the landlocked Colorado Springs. It's Joe, looking to find Malcolm. And up steps Javi Perez, who's fulfilling defensive responsibilities as well. Junior Flemings. Diab slips. It's unfortunate.
That's a foul. It's a foul.
It's always being brought back.
Yeah, the referee was allowing the play to continue as Shane Malcolm collected the ball, thinking that he might be able to play some sort of advantage. But it's good refereeing. Joey Farrell came in from behind Well done, blows the whistle. We go again. There's a better look. Romero trying to hold up play. Joey Farrell just overextending himself a bit.
Here's Malcolm. Hundley. Waz did well to get down.
How quiet have the midfield three become? They are almost non-existent in this match right now. Everything has gone one-dimensional on the wings. And that was where they were at their best, letting Javi Perez, John Becerra, and Musa, when the three of them were starting to push the ball around, they started to make Colorado Springs trace. They've kind of pushed themselves out of it, let Springs back into it, and they've overtaken the middle of the field now. They've got the better run of play.
Great sliding challenge from Cochran. At what point do you bring in Lambert, maybe replace James Musa?
The problem is Musa's the better defender than Lambert is, but Lambert gives you the more offensive option. And what Rick Schantz likes in his system is his outside backs to get high, which they're not doing, and for Musa to tuck in between, which he isn't helping with. So they've gotten away from their bread and butter, and it's showing in their performances, becoming a bit more individualistic right now. You see them constantly, it's going back to Solo, going back to Junior Fenlings. They need to trust the system that they're applying and not go back to the old ways.
Solo on the turn. A little bit of miscommunication between him and Adam John. Hundley finds a nice little pocket. Hundley lets it fly and Waz punches it away. A lot of space for Switchbacks to be able to operate. And Carl Wazinski once again up to the task. He's been busy in the second half.
Not happy with his back line once again. Look at all the space. Cochran and Farrell just allow him to carry this across his body and have a go. But the Wizard once again stepping up. Great save on the near post and just pushes it right over the top. Colorado Springs finding some life now. They've slowly made their way back into this match as Phoenix has stepped away from that they were doing so well. Switchbacks FC, give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Won by Mike Seth, and that was not far off at Devin.
Telling you, you
got your
cannot,
crystal ball over there,
you
man.
cannot let them hang around. They are too talented of a team and too well coached by Steve Trittschuh.
And it is going to be Kevon Lambert coming on, and it's Javi Perez coming off. Lambert fresh off of his duties with the Jamaican national team, and a good effort from Javi.
Remember, the only negative thing that Rick Schantz has said about Javi Perez is his speed and how it's great that the game slows down for him and he can make everybody look so foolish, but he struggles in transitional play on the defensive side of things. He got exploited a bit here today. Still a decent performance, but they need to find a way to put pieces around him to help him out a bit on the defensive side of things, especially when they start to sit so defensive-minded. He doesn't have enough help.
Solo threading the needle. And last touch is off of Colorado Springs. And a corner for Phoenix. Solomon Asante, great ball in. Adam John is drilled, and it's a penalty for Phoenix. And John is hurt.
This is an immediate cause for concern. He bounces off the pitch. Phoenix will want to get attention to him right away. It's good to see his hands moving, and you can see him breathing quite heavily. But this challenge by Jamal Jack comes right into the back of Adam John. Extremely forceful. Two big bodies. You'll get a better look. Brilliant from Lambert on the instep. Solomon Asante just puts it in, lets him go up to get it. That is a dangerous challenge. Right over the back, leads with the forearm. 100%. This goes to the penalty mark.
It's like a defenseless receiver in football. I mean, John was up for the header and has no idea Jamal Jack is coming from behind him.
Shocked that the referee has not brandished a card in this situation. And now you just wonder, is Adam John all right after that challenge? Good to see him up and moving. I'm sure he got his bell rung more than a little bit there. There's a good smile.
And Adam John slowly getting to his feet. Solomon Asante, who converted on 2 penalties against New Mexico United. He went to the right side first and then the left. Abraham Rodriguez, when called upon tonight, has been terrific in his professional debut at 16 years of age. Solomon Asante, saved by Rodriguez.
He's so far off his line.
Sent back in, Lambert challenging the header. And is Joam conceding the corner.
This is a great save, but he is a mile off his line. You could go side to side, but you cannot come off until he hits it.
Loose in the area, Farrell gets ahead to it. And the acrobatic clearance from Ronnie Argueta. Solo, working all sorts of magic on his Joam. Lambert, low delivery, Fleming's on the turn, blocked by Jamal Jack again. And here comes Colorado Springs on the counter, and Hundley is tripped up. And we'll get another look at the penalty save from Abraham Rodriguez.
It's brilliant from the youngster, but keep an eye. Solo dances, quick hesitation. He is so far off his line. This kid takes a step out, takes a step sideways. He is 3 feet off of his line and to his right. He has the fourth official, how he doesn't have a conversation.
Is it the hesitation that throws off probably the officials as well?
Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. The linesman comes across and stands on the end line for a reason. He steps in there. Your one job to do is to make sure the goalkeeper doesn't come off the line and that the ball does or does not cross it. You have failed miserably at both.
What a night for Abraham Rodriguez. Off of his line or not off of his line.
Still had to save it, didn't he?
Yep. Phoenix coming again. A lot of legwork from John, and Rodriguez off of his line. Get your tickets now for Rising's next home match on Saturday, April 6th. Visit phxrisingfc.com for ticket info.
You have to wonder if there's any magic left for Colorado Springs FC, or if it's all been used up by the youngster Abraham Rodriguez. They're still in a position to steal points on the road here, as their goalkeeper has single-handedly kept them in this game. And Phoenix must feel shell-shocked that they are not out in front after everything that they've done tonight.
Let's go, Rising! Never goal!
Amadou Dia, long throw in.
That was a great parallel.
Lambert. Still with Phoenix. Solo. It'll fall for Junior Flemings. Blocked in front. Phoenix want a handball. They're not going to get it. Solomon Asante now. Solo. Becerro sends it into the Banditos.
The Phoenix faithful asking for a penalty here, but they're not going to get it, because even if it does go off his hand, it's tucked in tight by the body. Good defending by Colorado Springs. Look at how sound they are on the back. Everybody so tight-knit. They do leave the one over. That's close to his body. He's coming across, bringing his arm in. Not saying other referees haven't called it, but not surprised they didn't blow the whistle on that one.
Flemings. How on earth did he get through? And wins a corner for Phoenix.
And how about the speed from Shane Malcolm, 30 yards away to track him down.
In the 84th minute.
Amazing.
And it's going to be the youngster Sam Rabin coming on. 21-year-old from Greenwood Village, Colorado. Had an incredible career at Wake Forest. 91 starts, 46 clean sheets for the Demon Deacons. Third most starts in program history. He'll have to wait though. John Becerro sends it in. Musa up for the header. Now Rabin will find his way on, making his debut here in the 2019 season.
He's the Colorado Rapids homegrown, and John Becerro was part of that run the year before. Sam Rabin, under the tutelage of Bobby Muse at Wake Forest, they won 73 games in 4 years. That is an astronomical number.
It's in the ACC.
The most ever in Division I history. That gives you an idea of the talent that has come out of that school. Logan Gadula can have something to say about that.
We're being told that Phoenix is going to bring on the youngster Josh Perez to replace Musa as Junior Flemings cushions it down for Solo. Good ball in. John diving header! Phoenix lead in the 86th. It's Adam John. After all the missed opportunities, after all the comebacks, Phoenix finally have their first lead. Can they hang on to it? It's only a few minutes. And an overwhelming amount of emotion for Phoenix Rising.
You wondered if he was even going to be able to get up after he got thrashed to the floor by Jamal Jack. They missed the PK, but they don't put their heads down. Phoenix battles back. The ball is beautiful. The finish is glorious. Adam John finally makes his mark on this match. You felt like when he got his opening goal against San Antonio that would set things up for what would to be in 2019. It hasn't been yet, but he stayed the course, and Adam John has put his squad out in front with just moments remaining in this match.
Second goal in a Phoenix Rising kit. And it is the first lead for Phoenix this year. Josh Perez comes on and replaces Baquero. And Perez, who's represented the United States at the youth national level, made an appearance for them last year. And will help Phoenix try to close this out in the final moments. Allen's new flame is his ex-old lady. Now they've got to keep their undercover love a secret from Jake. That's next, immediately following the match on 2.5 Men. Nothing he could have done about it.
He'll learn quite rapidly that sometimes as a player, whether in the run of play or a goalkeeper, there are just moments that are going to pass you by, and that was one of them. Two guys doing what they do best. Solo on the distribution side of things. Adam John using that big frame to get out in front and beat the goalkeeper. You can take nothing away from what Rodriguez has done so far, but this match isn't over yet.
Could be more in it for Phoenix as Junior Flemings is finding some space, and it's right at Rodriguez. How about the production on the offensive side of the ball from Phoenix? Regardless of how many they put in the back of the net, Abraham Rodriguez has stopped. Carry the one, 9 shots.
Well done, good for you. It took you a second.
We want to go there?
It took you a second. He's been impressive is not doing him justice, what he's been capable of, because it's not just a save, it's the way he's gone about it. It's the class he's brought to the position. He's done so well for himself so far. If they can't see this thing out and find a way to grab a goal in the waning moments, he should not hold his head down, because he's put together a masterful performance. And if it wasn't for something of utter brilliance between Solomon Asante and Adam John, we'd still be sitting at 1-1.
And you could be looking at a star in the making. I mean, an opening performance like this can give you that much more confidence to go ahead and put together the next performance and the next performance. I mean, how many times have we seen a debutant come out and lay an egg and never hear from them again? And Phoenix commit a silly foul right at the edge of the area. It's Cesar Romero who was putting the moves on, and now Phoenix has some defending to do. We're still waiting on the official word on stoppage time.
That's Ish Jones standing over the ball. We've seen him whip a few in with his left foot in the past. And keep an eye, is he gonna try and get tricky and go near post on Waz, or put something into the mixer and let all those big bodies just try and get a deflection?
Jome, good ball in, and it's all the way in. Jome equalizes in the 91st. It's a cruel, cruel game, and Jome is playing his game.
Well, the African contingent have been very active in this game. Solomon Asante, the Ghanaian, had the one to Adam John. This time, it's left back East Jome. Josh Suggs who? Check this out. To be fair, you can't give him 100% credit for having to go there, but he puts it in the right place. There's confusion from the back line between Karl Wazinski, and if anybody's going to challenge it, not enough communication, and East Jome just silences this crowd. Well done.
And it's a high foot. And a set piece for Phoenix now. There was always more drama. Kwasi Dunsu getting ready to come on for Colorado Springs as their third and final substitution. Who do you want on this?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't like Dia on it because of the distance. We've seen him hit some stuff with pace. He can go with power and he can go with swerve, but he cannot combine the two. And you're about 26 yards out. Junior Flemings is probably the right move here. If it's right-footed, it should be near post. He's got enough distance. The wall is only 4 men, and the goalkeeper is not that big. So an opportunity to play something here. You could get an overlapping run by Dia as well.
Flemings. Easy work for Rodriguez.
And this was interesting. On the shove, the referee actually blew his whistle before he hit that and then let him play.
Can you do that? You can blow your whistle and then say play on?
He blew his whistle.
Full time. It's another draw for Phoenix. It is a hard-earned point on the road for Colorado Springs. Abraham Rodriguez rushed by his teammates. Looks of frustration. East Jome, the equalizer in stoppage time. This match had it all. Where do we start?
With that young man right there. That's the story tonight. There's no way, shape, or form that this match is what it is if it's not for him, because this game could have been 2-3-0 in the opening 25 minutes. Phoenix Rising once again cannot put together a full 90 minutes. Adam John found a way to pull himself up off the pitch after that extremely rough challenge that Jamal Jack put on him. Asante misses the PK. Drama all over the place. They think they have a winner with just minutes to spare, but East Jome comes back, finds a way to get them level, and would they have had it any other way with the storied history between these two squads?
Adam John is your Mobile Mini man of the match. Abraham Rodriguez, a performance to remember in his debut. We'll wrap it up when we come back.
Want something to smile about? Reese's Dental and Braces provides affordable dental care and braces for the whole family. We believe everyone should have a smile they are proud of, so pricing is affordable and flexible, with braces for only $3,000. Act now for a free retainer with purchase. Whether seeking a one-time cleaning or a total smile makeover, Reese's can help. Visit one of our 13 Valley locations and discover for yourself. At Reese's Dental and Braces, we speak patient.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Be sure to check out www.phxrisingfc.com for tickets and all the latest Rising news.
Another full-time sequence here at Casino Arizona Field, and another draw. This time it's of the 2-2 variety. Incredible scenes here. Storylines littered all throughout the Valley of the Sun. Adam John thought he had the game winner until Isjom equalized in the 91st minute directly off of a set piece on a tight angle that just flew into the top corner. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're just joining us, we'll give you a little help, full-time highlights. And Abraham Rodriguez made his professional debut today at the ripe age of 16 years old. And he put on a show, and this is a game that he is going to tell his great-grandchildren about. It was unbelievable.
Phoenix didn't do themselves any favors either. However, Abraham Rodriguez, take a bow. Someone's buying you lunch in high school on Monday, my friend, because that was one of the best performances I've seen, not just by a 16-year-old, but by a goalkeeper in general. He was fantastic. Colorado Springs would get out in front first. Jordan Burt does well, following up on the play. Second and third chances seem to be the story of the night. Phoenix 1, 2, 3 times just kept battering this kid, but he would not shy away from the challenge. Confidence oozing all over the place. They would find a way to get it in, but it just took so many efforts. This was one again, Solomon Asante, put it on your left foot, bring it back across your body, then have a go. That's not the case. Jordan Burt went ahead in the 26th minute. Phoenix would get their equalizer from a defender as well. Joey Farrell, liftoff.
Seems like ages ago. So much happened after this goal. It would eventually be Phoenix taking the lead late, but it wouldn't come without some nervy moments for Phoenix fans as this one would take a deflection. Carl Wazinski, there was about a 15 to 20 minute pocket of space in this match where Carl Wazinski had a lot of work to do, and then Phoenix would start to find their way back into the game. I mean, this is another sitter. Adam John just, I mean, you mentioned it. He had a lot more time than he thought.
It's difficult. You're rushing in your mind. You see what's in front of you. If he doesn't get the call from what's behind him, it's very difficult for him to take. But confidence, he just kept going, and you have to feed the number 9. Lets it drift across his body, had the goalkeeper beat. And if the goalkeeper made a couple saves, how about the post? It was his friend quite a few times tonight as well. Carl Wazinski, a nice performance. Not great, but nice. You have to wonder about the communication between he and his back line. A lot of pockets opening up at the top of the box to allow not just Colorado Springs, but a lot of other opponents to get back in. This is going to be in the 78th minute. After we saw some good defending all night from Jamal Jack, he takes Adam John down. In steps Solomon Asante. No problem, right? There's that teenager, Abraham Rodriguez. And again, very critical of him being so far off his line. The third official standing on the byline to make sure that he doesn't do so. He still has to make the save. Does very well for himself. And how about this? Solomon Asante just tees it up for him. Adam John thought he had a head injury. I think he's fine.
Seems all right. Is Jones feeling all right as well? Anything you could do about that from anybody's standpoint? Waz?
This is Waz's fault. This is his mistake because you have to be commanding of the box. You are the one who has to come out there. You have to find a way to communicate appropriately. I think they were lacking a lot of that tonight. And how about these metrics? 32 shots, 13 on target, 63% possession. And it's easy sometimes for us to go, oh, don't worry about the possession number. Most of this was in the final third. A lot of this was in transition. So credit again to what Colorado Springs was able to do on the defensive side of things, and more importantly, what Rodriguez was able to do in between the pipes.
What a start for Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, who are able to get 7 points from their first several matches. Phoenix Rising FC, the reigning Western Conference champions, feeling like they should be doing a lot better at the moment, but it's 3 points. They're unbeaten so far in 2019 for our entire crew. And Devin Kerr, I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. 2.5 Men coming up next on your Phoenix CW.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.